What's up, y'all? This is part 2 of building an automated research and list building process for Circle. So in the last video, we focused on the ICP of YouTube creators. In this video, we're going to focus on LinkedIn creators. And so this is the email copy that I came up with them for LinkedIn creators. Very similar to the YouTube creators one. I don't think we need to get too crazy because it's solving the same problem. But just to read through the email, it says first name community. That's the subject line. And then to open the email, again, same exact framework. I saw you've been posting on topic content on LinkedIn for a while now. Looks like you just hit X followers. Congrats. We're just trying to show them we know them when we've done our research. Have you considered building a private community for your followers? In this case, Circle does not have a specific case study that I could find for LinkedIn creators, but that is something we'd want to find. So we want to reference somebody and say, hey, they're doing X monthly revenue with our community platform Circle, and that's with only X number of followers, and we want that number to be lower than their amount of followers because, again, we're trying to build some fear of missing out, saying like, hey, this person's doing all this money and they have half the followers of me. Why can't I do it as well? So that's kind of the idea that we're trying to go for here. And then same sort of thing. If it sounds interesting, would you be open to seeing what your community could look like in Circle? I have an example I can share. That's the offer. We're showing them an example. And then 5 days later, I just saw that LinkedIn had changed their algorithm. LinkedIn is always changing their algorithm. They just did a change recently that makes it harder for you to amplify your content to people that aren't closely connected with you. So first degree connections. And so we're just talking about that. Not sure if you've seen the impact since then, but it looks like you've been creating since insert time they started. So I'm sure you've seen the ups and downs of LinkedIn's algorithm. And then have you given any further thought to creating a private community so that you can own your audience? Here's an example that I was talking about in my previous email. So that's the copy. Again, we would probably add 2 more emails, but I want to, if I was testing this out, I'd see how the first 2 emails go and then decide if I want to continue on with that sequence because we're just testing out different ICPs right now. So the way I would go about doing this is I would use Clay, and I'm sure y'all have seen me talk about Clay before. Super powerful tool. It combines a bunch of different data sources all into one. And what I would do is find people from LinkedIn. So I'm going to move my camera out of the way. So when we look for creators, we want to find job titles that represent creators. So founder, maybe creator, maybe writer, maybe content creator. Those are all probably good titles. And then going into experience. So we want to find keywords in their experience description. So actually, matter of fact, let's search in bio and look for keywords in their bio. So what I'm looking for is people that maybe talk about like a course or a newsletter or some sort of content in their bio on LinkedIn to kind of indicate that they're more than likely a creator. So we'll put course, newsletter, podcast. Just anybody who's talking about a podcast, newsletter, or course in their about section is probably a creator. We're going to do United States just to narrow things down a little bit. Number of followers, this is important. So again, whatever case study example we're using for this one, where we're saying they only have X number of followers, we'd want this number to be higher. So let's just say, 50,000 followers for this example. And then outside of that, I don't think there's anything else we need. Certifications aren't relevant. Language, education, not relevant. So let's just pull a list of 50, preview people. And so what it should be finding us right now, just to kind of reiterate, so we got 14 people here. We might want to change the description. Keywords and keywords and headline. That's my issue. So I put the right information in the wrong place. So podcast, newsletter, course. Let's see if that gives us more results. Okay, so this is 70 right here. We may want to change the follower count to go after more people. We may want to find new keywords, but you kind of get the idea here. What we're trying to do is use Clay's LinkedIn search functionality to find people that are more than likely creators that are doing some sort of course to some extent. So now what we're going to do is import these people to a new table. And then we're also going to find their personal emails using, work emails using Clay, which is awesome. They allow you to find your emails right away. And so the only other information we need to get is the number of followers they have and the topic they create around. So let's open this up. All right. So what Clay is doing right now is finding their emails. And so while it's going through and finding the emails, we're going to go through and figure out these two pieces of information that we need to find. So the number of followers they have and then the topic that they create content around. So the first one's pretty easy. If we're trying to find followers, sorry, this is being super slow. All we're going to do is click into this cell, and it should have number of followers. Awesome. So we're going to add that as a column. Create column. So now we have followers. Now we just need to figure out what sort of topic they talk about. So I'm going to go back here, click on their LinkedIn profile. This is the summary. Cool. So we're going to add this as a column. And what we're going to do is we're going to use AI to read their About Me summary to give us an idea of what topic they're talking about. So the goal here is to use Clay, right, to find all the information that we need to find so that we can just upload this CSV into our sales engagement tool and then use custom fields to insert that information automatically and write us a personalized email. So for figuring out what topics they talk about with the summary, we're going to do a new column and enrich with AI. So use AI. So again, what we're trying to do is figure out the topic they're talking about based on the summary. So using this input, and then we're going to put in the summary. Sorry, my laptop's being super slow. Summary. Tell me the main topic that this person talks about in their content. Keep your response 4 words max. And that should pretty much be it. So let's see what that looks like. Save and run first 10 rows. We can add examples. So like one thing I like to do is add examples so that the AI can kind of know what sort of examples we're looking for. But for the sake of time and just for this example, we're going to keep it pretty brief. So give that a second to load. And that's pretty much it. So the other thing we'd probably want to do too is that if we're importing their number of followers and we're saying like, hey, it looks like you have this number of followers, we probably don't want to be like, hey, it looks like you have 26,000 or 263,274 or 47 followers, right? We probably want to round that up. So one other thing we can do is add an enrichment that says use AI using, round the number in this input up to the nearest 2,000. Here is the input. So that'll make it look a little more normal, you know what I mean? When we're actually putting this information into an email. So number of followers, save everyone first 10 rows. Cool. And then, so let's look at some of the AI examples of the topics they're talking about. So in this example, personal branding and entrepreneurship, that's perfect, right? Leadership and human resources. Okay, awesome. So that's all we have to do. So now what we would do is download this view as a CSV and just upload it into our sales engagement platform. And then you'd want to match the custom fields of these responses into your email, just like we had in the email template here. So cool. Thanks for watching. If y'all have any further questions or want me to do a video like this for you in the future, please let me know, respond, and again, appreciate you watching.